Welcome to the Absolute Tarot channel. I'm CaraSeen. I'm your hostess today, and we're looking at our tarot business series. And today's title is Tarot Reading Rituals, Before, During, and After Spiritual Rituals. And we're going to look into some rituals that are what people tend to do, you don't have to do, you might want to do, you might look into doing. Some of them are very important, some of them are not so important. It all depends on the person. There is a few rituals that definitely need to happen with your tarot cards that will really help you with your accuracy, your clarity, and your focus and intention. So let's have a look at some before, during, and after tarot spiritual rituals. And let's get started. Let's have some fun. So first off, let's look at what are rituals. Rituals are basically repetitive activities that calm the mind, focus intention, and tune to the spirit. Different rituals vary from reader to reader. Some readers think consulting the cards without engaging in any pre-ritual is very dangerous or blasphemous. Others have no use for a ritual at all. Rituals are optional. If you want to incorporate the rituals into your reading practice, please do so. If you don't want to, don't. It is not a big deal. Many effectors readers do nothing more than open the box, shuffle, and go. That's not something I personally do. I do like to at least cleanse and meditate, clear the decks of any residual energy that is left over, and I like to start afresh every time. So I do have my own rituals that I'll bring up during the video as well. So why bother with rituals if they're not a big deal? Well, simple rituals offer greater flexibility. Adopting a ritual involving lighting candles maybe could limit you how many candles you're lighting. Maybe it's taking up too much space in your room. Maybe it's distracting. Simple rituals observe the moment of silence, taking a moment with your deck just for a moment, setting intention, clearing your mind, shuffling the cards in a special way, repeating a brief prayer or invocation. Something appropriate to your own spiritual path is totally acceptable as well. It can be performed anytime and anywhere. Rituals can also facilitate getting in the mood. Practice consistently, a ritual can prompt a reflective and creative frame of mind also. They associate with the sound like a small bell, a fragrance, incense, a routine of placing a crystal on the table or on the cards. These are all different things that will automatically relax. They'll focus you, they'll help center you, they'll start setting your intention as you're ready to start in your reading. Now, rituals can protect you is another one. Many tarot readers believe reading the process taps into powerful spiritual forces. It's not just a parlor trick or parlor game or fortune telling. It is, for them, a ritual offers protection from any malicious spirits, unwanted influences, and that includes also from the person who's getting the reading. If they're having such a bad day, their energy is so low, we have to protect ourselves from that energy as well. Well, be able to perform and felicitate that reading for them not getting taken into too far. Rituals may also help isolate readers from an unhealthy energy protected. It may also protect from any negative energies, unwanted, whether spiritually or the person you're dealing with, like I said. But rituals can set the stage for your important work. Lighting candles, playing maybe certain music, burning a certain brand of incense. I'm always burning right behind me frankincense or copal, my two favorites. Those are always going. When it gets too smoky in here, and I need, because I really do smoke myself out all the time with my frankincense, and especially copal. I use incense, I use dragon's blood. I love that. It's nice cleansing as well. I do have my buried course, my sage that I smudged beforehand. So we all have that's my scent ritual, my burning ritual. I like using the fire and the incense and all the elements to help bring in that. Simple rituals that we're going to get into as well that we're going to use before, during, and after. So let's have a look at those, and let's indulge, shall we? So some of the pre-rituals that you can do before you start your reading. First one is meditate. Meditation, you don't have to chill out for an hour. It's simple, holding the deck squared up in your hand on top, placing intention, stopping, thinking, and focus on your breath is number 2. Number 3 is have something to eat. Keep your energy levels up. I don't know about you, but after an intense reading or after I go live, I do a lot of readings. Even after I do a personal and private reading, I'm hungry afterwards. So I make sure I always eat before so my energy level, my sugar levels don't drop so much too. Drink lots of water. Have a lot of water in hand. Always have something to drink nearby me anytime. Because you could talking so much, you bring it into it. You can be dry, you could be coughing. Water's just good for you anyway. Throw the intention in the water as well. Number 5, wash your hands before handling your cards. It sounds silly, sounds little, but it's true. Always wash your hands. Let these cards last as long as you possibly can. Now, before you start, you want to clear your space. Clear your altar, clear your tarot table. Clear it off. Have nothing in the way. Except for after you physically clean your altar space, now smudge and cleanse the area with your sage. There's all kinds of different ways you can smudge, either with, like I said, Palo Santo, California white sage. You could use cedar, Yemen. I think I don't know I'm pronouncing that right. It's for a shaman sage as well. Peppermint is very good. There's many different, sweetgrass. Oh, it's beautiful. A little extra stinky in the house, but it's a beautiful one to use as well. Now, after you have smudged your space and you've cleansed out any energy that has been absorbed previously into your cards, you want to now set up your table, set up your altar. Choose crystals for the deck so you are reading. So either you may have, I will have some larger ones that will sit on top of my deck. It'll cleanse the deck while it's waiting to be utilized in the reading. I sometimes will just have crystals set out in front of me, depending especially if I'm doing a private reading. I go through all my crystals and I start pulling out crystals, and I want to, and if halfway through the reading or during the I'm like, oh, now I know why I picked these out, and I start doing a crystal reading as well. But usually the crystals that are jumped out of pick me, there's reasons for it, or someone who you're reading for. If you're doing many readings or in a live reading, there's somebody there that stone was meant to be there for. And it also just energizes and clears the area and brings in the spirits that you'd like to work with. Now choose and light some candles as well. The fire is a powerful cleanser, and it helps focus. It helps invoke the spirit guides and the essence of those who you wish to be helped by with the reading. And the next one is pick your decks. Pick what decks you would like. Now, you may not have as many decks as I have. You may only have 1, 2, or 3. You may have a few oracles. When you're thinking about that person that you would like to read for, the decks will jump out and want to be used and help felicitate any messages that are coming through as well. So picking your decks, whether it just be your favorite one to work with, or there's something that is pulling you towards this deck, or there's certain questions in mind that maybe angel oracles would be better to use. Maybe the goddess deities would be better for helping you with your answers. You'll just feel it and you'll know, or ask the client, what decks are you drawn to? Either by a picture on the top of the deck, or let them know what the deck's about. Now smudge each individual deck. So once you light your sage, I usually will smudge my cards, and then I will turn my deck and I will smudge as well, and I will use each deck that I'm using When I'm done, I'll place my crystal on top after smudging, so now it's ready. And sometimes I've actually been shuffling, and when I realize I've been reading a while, even though I smudge before, sometimes when you're doing a number of repetitive readings in a row, I feel the cards can be almost like sticky. I feel this tar like sticky. It doesn't mean the person's energy is negative. It's just like they're tired. They need to be cleansed here. They need to, so just doesn't matter. Just people don't mind. Stop, give a little sage and smudge that out and clear it out. Another great one is here. If I have a chakra spray that I've designed, you could use essence. Now this is a sweetgrass chakra spray. I like to use it on myself. You don't see me use it on camera. I use that right before I smudge. I get everything ready. I actually will concentrate on my customer, my client, and I shuffle them when I'm thinking about them. I'm putting their vibe into my deck, pondering them. I might have a picture in front of me if I'm doing a remote reading. I'm looking at them. I'm getting their vibe in. Any questions that they have, I'm kind of reading them through, throwing them into the vibe. And I find I can just set that off to the side with intention, and they're powered up and they are ready. It's really cool that way. Now let's look at our next option. Now our next rituals are the during rituals. Now these ones are completely optional. For before rituals, stopping, meditating, taking a breath, taking a break, something simple as that, but always smudge. Oh my goodness, always smudge, always clear your decks. Whether you're throwing them out into the sun or the moon, either or, the sun or the moon, use the moon rays to cleanse your deck. Depending on which moons you use, from the new moon, it could be new beginnings, new offerings, clean slate. The full moon is climatic. You're going to have your essence. It also is very, very good for clearing your crystals, jewelry, things like that as well. Now let's go on to during. So we can place a crystals or wand on top of our deck. Now that is one of the rituals which we covered also in the before. They're ready, they're waiting. People can choose the deck. Maybe you have 3 different decks for them to choose from. They may choose by the crystal that's on top or the deck themselves. Another one is knocking on the deck. It's waking them up, getting ready. It also knocks out any residual energy that we have left over. Using a bell or singing. Now I have the heart chakra, and I like to use this when I have a singing bowl for each of the chakras, but I like using the heart chakra because I can activate all the other chakras as well. So I will use that one before, usually off camera. I will start it in. Another one to use, again, you can use sound. You can use sound to clear. You could use sound to choose your cards, depending on how it stops, depending on where it goes to. Now there's different ways to shuffle as well. Shuffling is very personal. It can be whatever. You can do it however you like. You can mess them all up. You can put them back together. You can fan them out with your left hand, choose with the right, or close them with the right. You can place your hand over the deck and clear your hand. Must be the left hand. Oh, must be. No, it doesn't. With your left hand, you can cut the deck into 3 piles and put them back in a different order. With your right hand, you can reunite the deck. Now you can also shuffle continuously until a card pops out. You could use that. I like to use that. I will cut the deck for certain reasons when I do my 9 to 10 card spread, and then I'll just take from the top, grab one from the bottom, 1 card from the bottom, a little clarity. But then I will also I like to just shuffle, and when it pops out, I read those. I ask Spirit for how many cards I need, and I guess if I want 5 will pop out for me. There's no right or wrong way. Whatever you are called to do, whatever you're comfortable with, watch some YouTube videos, watch what other readers shuffle, try them all out. Your hands may be just too small. You may not be able to shuffle the way I can. I may not be able to shuffle the way you can. There's some pretty nifty stuff out there. But all in all, is for the during is more of a shuffling ritual, and it's just, I like to do in the same order every time. Depending on what spreads I'm using, I do the same way every time, and it just helps me get my intention and my focus in by doing the same way repeatedly with that. Not necessary. Your focus may be different than mine. That's just how I like to attune in with my cards. All right, let's look into after and see what's shaken. Now, after rituals are super, super simple. Very, 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 very simple. Very, very, very quick. Because you want to be done, especially if you've had a long day of reading. I've done many private readings, or maybe you went live for 5 hours, who knows. But after you're done, is you always want to close your space. You want to ground yourself and center. Take a moment. Now, there's many different ways you can Google how to ground yourself. One of them I find is having a snack. Having a snack, making a tea, getting something in me. Grounding and centering is a way to really finish with yourselves, and also it's a way to protect yourself so you're not absorbing any residual energies from possibly, because some people seek advice, some people seek clarity, some people are going through a hard time, and you're with that energy, so you want to make sure you're not bringing that home with you. So you want to thank Spirit, thank the angels, thank the ancestors, whomever you are working with. Always give gratitude for their time. And smudge yourself. Cleanse your area and your crystals. When you start off in the beginning, and you're going to smudge everything, your space, your cards, all your goodies, you're going to get that, and you're going to start that with intention. But just to smudge yourself, it can be a quick clear, putting the smoke upon yourself, giving your cards a thank you, and especially your crystals a thank you, especially if you use your crystals for more than just tarot reading too. And that is it for before, during, and after. So spiritual rituals for tarot reading. Thank you so very much for joining for this tarot business series. Let me know if you have any of your own rituals, anything that I missed. There could be all kinds of goodies there. So anything that you missed, write me down in the comments down below, and I would love to hear what you do for your reading. Love and light, and I'll see you on the next reading.